morning. I am calling in sick today to take better care of my mental health. I went to grab lunch with a friend on Saturday, and when I was complaining about work, she told me that what I was experiencing is pretty much burnout. But the worst thing about burnout is that you don't realize you're in it until you're out of it and you're already devastated by it. And that's literally me right now. My physical space and my mental space are a mess right now. I even went to urgent care on Saturday for an anxiety attack. To my surprise, the doctor gave me a work note for taking Monday and Tuesday off. What I also really liked from my doctor's visit is that I finally got prescription for anxiety pills that can help me navigate through stressful situations in the short term. My goal for today and tomorrow is to take a more holistic approach and focus more on self-care activities that can actually bring me the serotonin I need to not feel so messed up internally. I realize I'm getting rambly a little bit, but my first thing, as you probably can tell, is to get out of this bed.
After I crawled out of bed, I tried to reset my space. It was a bit hard to understand where to start since everything is a mess, but I tried to start by building my fake plant, cleaning my kitchen, and then folding laundry. There's something soothing about small physical tasks, and they make me feel like I'm slowly piecing myself together. But just when I thought I was finally calm, a YouTube video playing in the background sent me spiraling again. This morning, I just saw a video about how she's quitting her job at and about 2 weeks ago, I was watching this girl video about how she's quitting her job at and these are both YouTubers I take inspiration from for juggling their work at tech as well as their creative endeavors. This is kind of ironic, but just a month ago, I was filming a video titled Why You Shouldn't Quit Your Job to Chase Your Dreams. And in that video, I was trying to say how you shouldn't fall for the notion that if you quit your job and chase your dreams, you'll become financially free working on what you love. But I actually have a really strong desire to quit my job lately. I think part of it has to do with stagnant career growth, but a part of it is also just that I simply feel burnt out doing YouTube, theater projects, and having a full-time job altogether. And that is why recent announcement that they're quitting their job in tech is somewhat of a shocker to me that you can't do it all. I know my boyfriend tells me this a lot, that I just simply do too much. Even though I decided to take a summer break away from theater projects, I immediately went to sign up for improv classes as well as a pickleball league. For me, I guess the situation is a little bit different from those YouTubers because as of now, I only have 50 subscribers and I definitely don't have a consistent income stream outside of work. And I am very conservative when it comes to having a stable job and a stable income streams. I think the big environment around me is that people still have a stigma against taking your hobby as your career. But looking introspectively, I think that aligns more with who I want to be, what I want to do in the future. Even though I'm completely fine being a barista part-time while working on my creative projects, he actually argues how I won't be having health insurance and all those coverages, which I think is also fair. But that again explains the frenzy that I'm in because I'm trying to gain as much experience as possible so that I can hop into a job that I really find joy in. I think my biggest chance of making somewhat of a stable income stream is YouTube. So I think my goal for the next couple of months is to actually focus and log in on making YouTube videos. And I'm allowing myself to do theater workshops here and there. For example, last week I hosted a lighting workshop and a sound workshop for some kids in China for a summer camp that my friend was organizing, and it was really fun. But I don't think I have the mental capacity to work on full-on theater projects until I somewhat made an advancement in my YouTube career. I don't know, it's a really long ramble. I did want to get to this topic eventually in this vlog, but I didn't know it happened so quickly. Anyways, that long talk aside, I'm gonna clear my desk so that I can at least have an area to work on budgeting because I've also been falling out of my money habits. So let's do that next. I finally finished tracking my spending. So for this vlog, I'm filming on my old phone and I have my new phone turned off the whole time because I don't want social media to hinder my progress in recovery. But I had to turn my phone back on to receive a verification code when I was trying to track my expenses through Belt. When I turned on my phone, I instantly got a lot of messages and I saw a DM from one of my coworkers. I guess it's the tone that makes me feel a little bit attacked in a sense, but I don't think I did anything anything wrong. I think it was just an FYI message. But even looking at that message makes my heart pound really bad. And for the second half of tracking my expenses, I actually wasn't in the greatest mood because I kept thinking about it. I just felt like every breath was heavy after that. It was just really hard. I definitely won't be ready to go back to work tomorrow. I just feel my whole body tense up whenever I see something work related. Originally, my plan after doing budget tracking was to go to a cafe and do some editing, but I feel like with my mental state right now, editing is probably not the best approach, so I decided to do some creative arts and crafts to make myself feel better and more emotionally stable. Originally, I wanted to do paint by numbers, but yesterday I binged an entire series while painting and I felt completely awful after that. So I decided to do some crochet projects instead. One thing left on my 2025 vision board is to table a crochet stand at a fair, so I'm trying to find out how long it takes to make a coaster. So I actually ended up watching one episode of Gossip Girl. I also did finish making one of these coasters. I feel pretty proud of myself for the progress. It took me about 40 minutes to make one, which is not too bad. As you can see, I'm already dressed up in my athleisure clothing because I've got a pretty long night coming up. Even though I decided to take work off today, on Mondays I actually have quite a few obligations. For today, I have my pickleball game coming up. It's gonna be the last game of the season, most likely, because we're entering playoffs and I honestly don't think we can make it. After that, I also have my weekly improv class on Monday. Oh, and in case you're wondering, I haven't been eating at all today because on Mondays, I also fast for 36 hours. So I start on Sunday night and then I don't eat until my first meal on Tuesday. Yeah, now that I realize I actually do a lot on Mondays, which might be why I'm feeling burnt out and mentally unstable recently. Another thing I added for today is that I'm gonna go watch a movie. Throwback to a year ago, I was really struggling with friend groups. I realized that taking myself to movies heals me in a way. It makes me feel more secured and I find it very therapeutic. So because our movie theater, SIF, has $6 Mondays, I decided to take advantage of that. I'll take my time to walk there to get some sunlight into my system. Like I've said earlier, a part of the reason that contributed to my burnout is my tendency to overcommit, and we have a prime example of that right now. Even though I try to slow things down and take care of myself by taking a break from work, I still somehow managed to pack my Monday up. Jumping from movies to pickleball to improv class, I had no gap in between the 3 commitments, which means that I'm constantly running late. I'm actually running so late. If I'm running late, I'm definitely gonna be late. All while I was fasting on Mondays, which made it even harder to keep up with the pace. I bought some electrolytes as well as mint. Alright, that was a wrap for pickleball for the season. Of course, I lost all 3 games today, but it's not a big deal. Honestly, I feel so much accomplishment from not having to commit to this thing again. It's like one thing off my shoulder. But there was no time to celebrate. I immediately had to lime over to improv class, still hungry and already drained. On fasting Mondays, I realized I don't have enough physical capacity to be as lively as I want to be. Hi, it's me, April, calling in from the bed. It's already 1 a.m. I got super tired after improv, and then when I got home, I fucking binged bubble gums. And after that, started falling back into an emotional roller coaster, thinking about how I still have to call in sick tomorrow. And then I tried to call my boyfriend for suggestions on doing that, but he told me to just use ChatGPT, and I did that. That accidentally led me to a whole rabbit hole conversation. I started a full-on conversation, ranting to ChatGPT on how work has been lately and my possible next steps moving forward, because even though I do want to quit, I don't think I have the financial capacity to do it yet. So I really got to think about how to hack this smartly without burning myself out again. I was really reluctant to tell ChatGPT about everything in the beginning, but that was a great start to thinking about what my next steps are. That's definitely the top 1 priority on my list for Tuesday. And it's getting really late, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Morning, we're back in the same angle as yesterday, and I scheduled my message for my sick leave at 9 a.m. I'm really scared thinking about how other people are gonna react for me being out of office. Actually, I'm so stressed. I need to check right now. Okay, actually, 2 of my coworkers reacted to take care emojis, so maybe I don't feel that bad. Good times always come to an end, and by the end of tonight, I will have to get back into my work routine. I forgot if I mentioned this, but I have an intern who's doing a big presentation tomorrow. I really like the feeling of how much I can help an intern do their best by being a mentor, so I really want to be there for him and support him in his big presentation. And that's also why I'm not taking a long-term sick leave, because I really want to stay with my intern throughout his internship to make sure that he has the best experience possible. So even though I have to go back to work, I need to change the attitude I see work in order to make this more sustainable and stress-free. My goal for today, now that my apartment is finally a lot cleaner than before, is to journal about hard topics such as work. One thing I realized that I've been experiencing during burnout is that I have a resistance to journal, and I tend to play games more. Like, it's not controllable almost. I actually do like journaling, but the thought of journaling and having to let out all my negative emotions is very scary to me, even if it's just putting it down on paper and no one else can see it. Another thing is that I'm gonna be breaking my 40-hour fast at 10 a.m. so I can finally eat and cook today. It feels totally bizarre for me to be eating a big lunch at 10 a.m. But you know what? After a 40-hour fast, I'm hungry and I'm about to dig in.
After eating, I cleaned up the food and also did another pass of cleaning my apartment with the help of my robo vacuum. But then...
Oh, it's for the AC extension. Okay. Is that for like every home? Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow, that was totally not awkward. But seriously though, those inspection people coming really helped me motivate myself to clean my room better. And I feel like my apartment is the cleanest that it's ever been in a really long time. So that says something. Right now, I actually need to leave the apartment because I decided to go to a cafe and do some serious journaling there. I'm currently in a food coma right now, so having some coffee could really help. And let's go. Can I try the taro latte?
Yeah, taro latte. Thank you.
When I walked into the coffee shop, my mind was a jumble. Even though I tried talking to ChatGPT last night, I know that AI can only echo our feelings if we're willing to be vulnerable and rip off the band-aid first. So I started with a brain dump, writing down all of my biggest fears at the moment and being completely honest with myself. Then I fed the context to ChatGPT, journaled on the key takeaways from the conversation, and pulled together a list of action items, both from the conversation and those that have been on my mind. After the break, I shifted from planning to action. I put up a video from Vanessa Lau for Company and started tackling the low-friction tasks, dropping out of a theater production that I no longer have the mental capacity for, clearing my inbox, and updating my movie trackers in Notion. None of it was life-changing, but clearing out those lingering thoughts finally gave me space, and that space made me feel ready to focus on what actually matters. After a productive day at the coffee shop, I decided that it's time to relax. So I went home and started doing paint by numbers. But instead of feeling relaxed, I just felt restless. So I tried to do paint by number without any music, any podcast whatsoever to try to calm it, but I guess it's still not calmed down. I do want to meditate, but I am not in the headspace to meditate. I'm trying to go to a run to try to see if I can feel better. In the end, running did help me feel better. Not completely, but enough to remind me that healing takes more than a single day. Burnout doesn't vanish overnight, but what I can do is to take small steps to meet it differently. Tomorrow I'll be back at work, and I know the stress won't disappear. But I can choose how I show up. Even as simple as putting together an outfit that makes me feel truer to myself. A reminder that I am more than my job, and I'm still here, still growing.